The early childhood development sector is facing a major crisis at the moment. We are having to get extremely creative about how we attend to the very complex issues involved. Today, we are talking about a few of these issues with a long-term partner, the Do More Foundation, Riedewhaan Allie from the Western Cape Foundation for Community Work. Riedewhaan, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me and thanks for the opportunity.
Great, let's get started. So firstly, what makes up the ECD sector or the early childhood development sector, and why are these programs and centers so important for our young children?
Currently, the early childhood development sector and the ECD space is made up of a variety of role players that includes, government, particularly the Department of Basic Education, Department of Social Development, those being key government departments that leads development and policy conversations around early childhood development. On the other hand, I think it's very important to say that we also have a range of donors, donor agencies, funders, investors, who are also supporting funding and investment in early childhood development. The backbone of the early childhood development sector are those women and teachers who started early childhood development centers in their homes, in their backyards, and created safe spaces for young children whose caregivers unfortunately have to work long hours, who unselfishly give up their time and their resources and their space to make a difference in the lives of young children.
And they're such a resilient group. I mean, right now, we've seen recent publications coming out describing the ECD sector as hanging in the balance. Now we know that a lot of these women that, like you say, have given up their time, energy, their passion, really pouring a lot of themselves into improving the lives of young children, they're facing crisis at the moment. Can you give us a little bit of context around this and how the ECD sector has been affected by COVID-19?
Recent surveys have basically shown that between 16 and 20,000 jobs in the early childhood development sector have been shed during this few months. The projections are that if most of these preschools are not able to reopen before the end of the year, the chances are also that between 140 and 160,000 jobs will eventually be lost in the early childhood development sector. Now, this has significant impact for the fact that a good number of young children benefiting from these ECD centers and services have been without any services for the better part of this year. If any of these centers are going to struggle to open, the chances are also that about between 1.6 and 2 million young children that have benefited from ECD opportunities before the lockdown will now be basically between a rock and a hard place in terms of a shrinking early childhood development sector.
What are the solutions going forward, that we have at this stage to guard against the collapse of the sector, kind of get these ECD centers and ECD programs up and running again?
What the COVID crisis have provided is an opportunity to amplify the extent of the problem and the need for government to now really show a political will in terms of addressing the extent of the problem. Early childhood development is a collective responsibility. Early childhood development requires all of communities and society to actually put a shoulder to the wheel. I think what we're really saying is that if we want to see any difference, if we want to make a difference, we have to take a step up.
Thank you, Riedewhaan, for your time. That's it from our side. If you have any thoughts, questions, or comments, please pop them into the comment section below. And don't forget to follow the Mzansi Edge journey around the edge of our beautiful country.